Would you turn down $100,000 from Elon Musk? A homeless man did, and the reason behind his refusal will leave you speechless. What happens next is a story of resilience, genius, and an extraordinary twist. The glittering facade of the Tesla event stood in stark contrast to the lone figure hunched over scraps of cardboard on the sidewalk. As the doors swung open and attendees spilled out onto the street, Elon Musk emerged, his mind still buzzing with the energy of the presentation. But something caught his eye, pulling his attention away from the crowd. Intricate lines and precise geometries adorned the cardboard at the feet of a disheveled man. Elon paused, his curiosity piqued. The designs were unlike anything he'd seen before, complex, innovative, and eerily familiar to the challenges his own engineers grappled with daily. He found himself drawn closer, the bustle of the event fading into the background. The man's hands moved with surprising grace, adding detail to what appeared to be an elaborate energy storage system. His fingers were stained with graphite, nails cracked and dirty, yet the precision of his work was undeniable. Elon watched, transfixed as complex equations and diagrams took shape on the makeshift canvas. "Excuse me," Elon said, his voice cutting through the ambient noise of the street. The man looked up, startled, his eyes widening with recognition. "Those designs, they're remarkable. Where did you learn to do this?" The man hesitated, his gaze darting between Elon and his sketches. "I'm Lucas," he finally replied, his voice rough from disuse. I used to be an engineer, or at least I wanted to be." As Lucas spoke, his story unfolded, dreams of innovation crushed by a series of devastating life events, a brilliant mind left to wither on the streets. With each word, Elon felt a growing sense of urgency. Here was talent, raw, untapped potential, literally at his feet. "Lucas, these ideas could revolutionize our approach to sustainable energy," Elon said, his mind racing with possibilities. "You clearly have an exceptional gift. I want to help you." A tense silence fell between them. Lucas's hands trembled slightly as he set down his pencil, the weight of the moment palpable. Elon reached for his wallet, a decision crystallizing in his mind. "I'd like to offer you $100,000, Elon stated, his tone firm and sincere. "No strings attached. Use it to get back on your feet, to pursue your designs, whatever you need." The words hung in the air, heavy with promise. But as Elon extended his hand, he saw something unexpected flicker across Lucas's face. It wasn't gratitude or relief. It was hesitation. Lucas took a deep breath, his eyes meeting Elon's with a mix of determination and something that looked almost like hope. His response, when it came, would change everything. Lucas's words hung in the air, heavy with unexpected weight. "I appreciate your offer, Mr. Musk, but I can't accept your money." The silence that followed was electric, charged with disbelief and curiosity. Elon's eyebrows furrowed, his mind racing to comprehend this unprecedented rejection. "Money can't fix what I've lost," Lucas continued, his voice steady despite the trembling in his hands. "I need a chance to prove myself, not charity." His eyes met Elon's, reflecting a mixture of desperation and determination. The cardboard at his feet, covered in intricate designs, suddenly seemed to hold more value than any check Elon could write. Elon found himself caught between skepticism and intrigue. He'd encountered countless pitches and proposals, but never a refusal quite like this. Part of him wondered if this was an elaborate con, but the depth of emotion in Lucas's voice and the complexity of his designs suggested otherwise. "Tell me more," Elon said, crouching down to examine the sketches more closely. As Lucas began to explain his concepts, Elon's initial skepticism gave way to genuine fascination. The homeless man's ideas weren't just innovative, they addressed problems Elon's own team had been grappling with for months. Over the next hour, as the bustle of the event faded around them, Elon delved deeper into Lucas's story. He learned of a brilliant mind derailed by personal tragedy, of innovations lost to circumstances beyond control. Lucas spoke of sleepless nights spent refining his designs on any scrap of paper he could find, driven by a vision of sustainable energy that refused to dim despite his hardships. As Lucas talked, Elon found himself reassessing his initial impulse to solve the problem with money alone. He realized that sometimes what people needed most wasn't a handout, but a hand up, a chance to reclaim their purpose and dignity. The sun was setting by the time Elon made his decision. "Lucas," he said, his tone decisive, "I have a proposition for you. Instead of giving you money, I'd like to offer you an opportunity. Would you be willing to present your designs to my team at Tesla?" Lucas's eyes widened, a mix of excitement and terror crossing his face. You mean it?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Elon nodded, a smile playing at the corners of his mouth. "Absolutely. We're always looking for fresh perspectives, and your ideas could be exactly what we need." As they made arrangements for the presentation, Elon couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. He'd come to this event expecting to showcase Tesla's latest innovations, but instead, he might have stumbled upon something even more valuable, a reminder that brilliance could be found in the most unexpected places. The stage was set for a high-stakes presentation that could change not just Lucas's life, but potentially the future of sustainable energy. As Elon watched Lucas gather his sketches, he wondered what other hidden talents might be waiting to be discovered, overlooked by a world too quick to judge based on appearances. Elon Musk had taken a gamble on Lucas, the homeless man with extraordinary designs. Now, as Lucas stood before Tesla's top engineers, the tension in the room was palpable. The skepticism on their faces spoke volumes. Who was this disheveled man, and why had their CEO brought him here? Lucas's hands trembled slightly as he unrolled his cardboard canvases. The engineers exchanged glances, their expressions a mix of curiosity and doubt. As Lucas began to speak, his voice grew steadier with each word. He described a revolutionary concept for sustainable energy storage, pointing to intricate diagrams and equations that covered every inch of his makeshift presentation materials. At first, the engineers listened with polite disinterest. But as Lucas delved deeper into the technical aspects of his designs, their demeanor began to shift. Eyes widened, postures straightened, and notepads appeared as if by magic. Lucas's ideas weren't just innovative, they were potentially groundbreaking. He proposed a novel approach to battery technology, combining advanced materials science with a unique, structural design. His concept promised to increase energy density by 40% while reducing production costs by a third. As Lucas explained the intricacies of his design, even the most skeptical engineers leaned forward in their seats. The room's atmosphere transformed. What had begun as a courtesy to their eccentric CEO was now a serious, scientific discussion. Engineers fired questions at Lucas, testing the limits of his knowledge. To their amazement, he answered each query with depth and precision, revealing a mind as sharp as any in the room. As the presentation neared its end, a palpable excitement filled the air. The Tesla team recognized that they were witnessing something extraordinary. Lucas's final words were met with a moment of stunned silence, followed by a burst of animated discussion. Elon Musk, who had been quietly observing from the back of the room, stepped forward. His expression was unreadable as he approached Lucas. The room fell silent, all eyes on the two men. Then Elon extended his hand. "Lucas," he said, his voice carrying clearly through the room, "I'd like to offer you a position as a consultant on our energy storage team. Your insights could be invaluable to our work here at Tesla." The collective gasp from the engineers was audible. Lucas stood frozen, his eyes wide with disbelief. For a moment it seemed as if he might refuse again. But then slowly he reached out and shook Elon's hand. As the reality of his new situation sank in, Lucas's expression shifted from shock to determination. He was no longer a man on the streets, but a respected consultant at one of the world's most innovative companies. The road ahead would be challenging, filled with new obstacles as he adapted to corporate life. But for the first time in years, Lucas felt a spark of hope. His journey from the streets to the boardroom was just beginning, and the impact of his ideas was about to ripple through the world of sustainable energy. Lucas's journey from the streets to Tesla's boardroom didn't remain a secret for long. As news of his extraordinary story spread, it ignited a firestorm of interest across social media and tech circles. People were captivated by the tale of a homeless man whose brilliant ideas caught the attention of one of the world's most influential innovators. The viral nature of Lucas's story brought with it a new kind of pressure. Suddenly, he found himself thrust into the spotlight, his every move scrutinized by millions. The weight of expectation settled heavily on his shoulders. Could he live up to the hype? Was his initial design a stroke of genius or just a lucky break? Lucas threw himself into his work at Tesla with a fervor that surprised even his most ardent supporters. He spent long hours in the lab, refining his original energy storage concept and exploring new avenues for sustainable technology. His dedication paid off. Within months, Lucas had developed 3 additional innovations that promised to revolutionize Tesla's approach to power management. One of his most promising ideas involved a novel method for harvesting and storing kinetic energy from moving vehicles. This technology had the potential to significantly extend the range of electric cars, addressing one of the main barriers to widespread EV adoption. As news of these developments leaked, Tesla's stock price soared and Lucas's reputation as a visionary inventor was cemented. But Lucas's impact extended far beyond Tesla's bottom line. His story inspired a movement within the tech industry to seek out and nurture overlooked talent. Companies began establishing programs to identify and support innovators from non-traditional backgrounds. Homeless shelters started offering coding classes and engineering workshops. A new wave of startups emerged, founded by individuals who had once been written off by society. As the movement gained momentum, anticipation built around its potential long-term effects. Could this shift in perspective lead to a new era of innovation? What groundbreaking ideas might emerge from these previously untapped sources of talent? The culmination of this remarkable journey came when Lucas was invited to deliver the keynote address at TechCrunch Disrupt, one of the most prestigious conferences in the tech world. As he took the stage, the audience fell silent, hanging on his every word. I stand before you today not as a success story, but as a testament to the potential that exists in every corner of our society, Lucas began, his voice steady and clear. My journey from the streets to this stage wasn't just about personal triumph. It's a call to action for all of us to look beyond surface appearances and recognize the brilliance that often hides in plain sight. As Lucas concluded his speech, the audience rose in a standing ovation. His words had struck a chord, challenging the tech industry to redefine its notion of where innovation could come from. The implications of this shift in thinking were vast, promising to reshape not just the world of technology, but society as a whole. Lucas's journey from the streets to the forefront of innovation serves as a powerful reminder of the untapped potential that surrounds us. His story underscores the importance of looking beyond appearances and giving people a chance to prove their worth. It challenges us to reconsider our preconceptions about where great ideas can come from and who can make a significant impact on the world. As viewers, we're called to action. In our own communities, there may be hidden geniuses waiting for an opportunity to shine. By fostering an environment that values diverse perspectives and backgrounds, we open the door to groundbreaking innovations that might otherwise go undiscovered. Whether it's through mentorship programs, community outreach, or simply taking the time to listen to those often overlooked, we all have the power to nurture talent in unexpected places. Consider this. How many world-changing ideas are out there just waiting for someone to take notice? What brilliant minds might be walking past us every day, their potential obscured by circumstance? As we go about our lives, let's keep our eyes and minds open to the possibilities that surround us. After all, the next great innovation could come from the most surprising source.